Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to this week's episode of Monday Motivation. Now, we've gone into season 2, so if the number is looking a little low, it's not just episode 2. Monday Motivations have been going since 2008. 2008, I decided to, and I was working in financial services there, I decided that Monday's got a bit of a bad rap. Monday mornings was something that, sorry, frog in my throat. Monday mornings was something that people, really didn't look forward to. There were things that people dreaded, and I couldn't understand why. It was the beginning of a week, and if you're going to start a fresh week, why start it filled with dread? So despite the Monday Motivation starting off as being an email that just went around the office in the financial services industry, when I started my business in 2010, I really wanted to bring it to life, and I carried on the tradition with my own very small but perfectly formed email list at the start as it grew. And then, gosh, now this is going back just over a year and a half ago, I decided, why not bring it to life? Why not use modern technology and bring them to life and have a conversation where you can post comments, your insights, your thoughts, ask your questions live here on Facebook. So good morning. Thanks to Alan for saying good morning. Thanks Ivona saying good morning. And happy Monday, she says. Good morning all, happy Monday. So I can see that some of you are watching, and that's fine if you just prefer to watch and not comment, absolutely fine. But if you'd like to say hello, make a comment or have an insight or anything else like that, please do share it on the box below. If, however, you want somewhere a little more private, a little more personal to have a conversation, then by all means, go to the top of this page and click on the link to join the group, which is the Visibility Vibes Tribe, where literally every day of the week, somebody's either coming in, sharing an insight, asking a question, or sharing something else. And yesterday was a particularly great day for the Sunday shares, which, although it started yesterday, will be a feature that goes on for a lot longer than just one day. So thank you so much for those of you who have liked, commented and shared this too. And even if you're watching this on the replay, you never know who in your life could use a little Monday motivation. So do remember just to share it on your timeline. So, motivation for greatness, what on earth am I talking about? Well, as I coach clients, as I go out and speak to groups, one of the things that I realise is that people have a certain greatness within them. They have a certain greatness within them, but they don't always know how to draw it out of themselves, which is a reason why sometimes they'll hire a coach, sometimes it'll be a speaker, and sometimes, especially with organisations, it'll just be a consultant that they want to go in, they want different eyes on something, and they'll ask them to, kind of write their findings or a needs analysis and give it back to them so they can at least implement it or do something a little bit different. So one of the things that I thought I would talk about today is like, how do we, how do we draw out our own greatness from ourselves? Because there are times where you can watch things like this from people like me who might give you ideas or thoughts or great questions to ask to really draw that out. But then what happens when I click finish and you're sat at your desk, in your home office, maybe in your bed if it's 7 a.m. in the morning? What happens when you're then left with your own thoughts? So the other reason that I wanted to share some of these motivations for greatness is that people often see a very thin slice of my life and say, oh gosh, you seem really motivated. So I thought, why not share? Why not share? So do let me know which of these shares really pop out for you, really resonate with you, really stand out, and you see yourself being able to do that sort of thing. Do leave a comment, let me know. And if you're not sure, let me know at the end of this, like, which one are you going to really embody and really take on? So one thing that I want to talk about when we're talking about goals for greatness, and the first thing that I want to say is, this is a time of year when goals are rife. Everybody's talking about goal setting, starting their year, forming their year. And the first thing that I want to say quite controversially is just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean you have to. Yeah, I said that because it's funny. I was watching a Facebook Live a few days ago, and somebody was talking about goals and how everyone's doing it, and goals are so 2000 and whatever. But you know what? If you have a dream, a desire, maybe you want to make a quantum leap in your business, then, you know, whether it's the beginning of a new year, whether it's the first month of a year, whether it's the third week into year, now we're going into the third week of the year, it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. If you have a desire, a dream or a plan, you need to start it from somewhere. So if that's you and you've got a goal in mind, or you've got a few goals in mind, and you've decided that this is the time, like now's the time you're going to go for it, then go for it. At the same time, if you are kind of sat with a, you know what, I don't have a goal, I don't have a plan yet, I'm just going to see what happens, that's perfectly okay too. Just know that, you know, your intention, your thoughts behind what you do are what you will get as a result. And if you want to sit through January and just see what comes to you, that is actually okay too. Forcing yourself to do something is not a way to achieve a goal for greatness. At the same time, not planning something or not having a goal when there's, you know, 1, 2, 3 big desires that you have also isn't a way that you're going to achieve that. So the choice is yours. Does that make sense? That's the first thing I was going to say. The second thing I'm going to say, at the risk of sounding slightly fluffy, is live the dream. Now, you know, my clients span from startup entrepreneurs to, you know, quite senior executives in, you know, household brand names, in, you know, that span across things like financial services, travel, retail, and companies like that. And I think that this goal should definitely be applied as a company value, whether you're a company of one or a company of like hundreds, thousands spanning across the globe. Now, what does living the dream mean? Within all of us, we all accumulate as we go through life desires, ways we want to live, areas of our life that we want to look at and have be different. It could be relationships, it could be finances, it could be lifestyle, it could be health, it could be wealth, it could be any of those areas. We all have different areas in which we want to have things be different. And if we want to have things be different, I really believe that the place to start from when creating them is really living the dream and really asking ourselves, how do we want to live? You know, I was speaking to somebody recently who is transitioning from one kind of work to another. So within their business, there are things that they're asking themselves as they go into the newer piece of work, like, actually, what do I really want to do? How do I really want to do it? Why do I really want to do it? Like, where do I really want to do it? And by that, I mean, you know, I remember when I had a particular role in financial services many years ago, and I remember having this really gorgeous office space. It was a desk where I was able to sort of go and get on with my work pretty much undisturbed, but people also knew where I was. And as I looked through the windows into the beautiful gardens, I always remember saying to myself, you know, one day I'm going to be self-employed, and one day I'm going to go and sit out in those beautiful gardens, and I'm going to, you know, I'm going to sit in my lovely garden at home, and I'm going to work from there. And then it occurred to me that if I kept saying one day might never come. So I decided to make that one day right now. And I remember one particular day, I had a couple of hours in the diary where all I had to do was some administrative tasks. I had to do some preparation for a proposal and had to get ready for a meeting. So I let my PA know. I picked up my laptop. It was lovely and sunny. I went and sat out and worked in the gardens in that office. Now, I'm not asking you to start a revolution at work. You know, if that is not something you're supposed to or able to do, don't sort of, you know, well, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But so many of us live our dreams as if we're kind of a donkey with a carrot in front of us. So the dream is always in front of us, it's always over there, but we can never quite get to it, we can never quite attain it because we're chasing it. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just to take like 5 to 10 minutes out of your day today, as soon after this video as possible. Get a blank piece of paper. I don't care if it's on the back of an envelope. I don't care if it's on a kind of a scrappy notebook. Get yourself a piece of paper and pen, and think about all the different areas of your life, and think about at least one specific area of your life which you would like to be different. So many of us live in gratitude for what we have, and I absolutely concur with that. There are always times where we look to do things differently. Maybe, so for example, one of the things that I've always done by the nature of my job when I was an employee was to travel. And that meant travel within the UK. I'd go to offices in Glasgow, offices in Manchester, offices in Bristol, offices all around the United Kingdom. So I got used to, from a very kind of like early career age, of having a job that meant I travelled. In my 20s, I was a holiday rep. I worked in gorgeous places such as Morocco. I worked in places such as Turkey. I even, in between the summers, did the ski seasons and worked in France, in Italy, in Austria, and places like that. So I know that part of my life is travel. So when I talk about living a dream, I want to incorporate travel into what I do. Not tomorrow, not next time, not in the future, but now. And for me, that working as I travel could be me working from my home office. It could be me going into the centre of London and needing to know how I could work on the way there. It could mean me going to a different county, going to the north of the country, the east or the west of the country. And I love that just as much as I do when I'm sat in an airport in America and admiring the fact that they've got like stronger Wi-Fi than I've got in my house. How do you want that to be? Very recently I went over to Barbados, and I decided that for the most of that holiday, it was going to be a holiday. I was going to kick my shoes off. My goal, my intention for my holiday was to not wear shoes for as much as possible. And boy, did it feel good to feel the sand between my toes. But there were a few things that I wanted to do around work that I didn't want to give out to an assistant. I didn't want to outsource or anything else like that. So I had one phone call, which was a very important phone call. And then I also did a couple of Facebook Lives. But that was me being able to live my dream. So what's yours? Take some time, pen and paper. Think about different life areas like health, like fitness, like relationships, and these could be personal or professional. Think of areas like wealth, think of areas like health. Think of all the different areas in your life where there's something that you would like either to be different or to be new or to be in keeping with the life that you dream of having. And I know that for so many of you as entrepreneurs, as business owners, that your life, your personal life and your business life often blend together, meld together. So why not create it in a way that you feel that you can really live it? So just to recap, first thing is, have a goal if you want a goal, and don't have a goal or have goals if you don't want. Don't be pressured into that. Second thing is to live the dream. Live the dream. And the third thing is to really say it with truth, with integrity, and from your heart. If your personality is the sort of person that's really jokey and jovial, as I know Alan's is, then say what you want to say and inject a piece of your genuine personality with you. What saddens me is some of the people that I get to work with are such superstars, are so, they're so aligned with their purpose. They know what they want to do, but sometimes they forget through, they could be parents, they could have been busy looking after other people, spouses, partners, pets, they've been so busy focusing on what other people have wanted in life that they've sometimes forgotten about what they've wanted in life and who they are. And it's quite easy to go through this thing called life, go through the school of hard knocks and forget who we are. So one of the biggest questions I get, and I'm actually speaking at an event at the Ritz in March on this, I'll say more about it in the group and and as I get close to the time. But I'm actually speaking about this on being able to be authentic and to speak authentically, to share authentically. You know, it's interesting. I was having a conversation with a friend at the weekend, and she was talking. We were talking about videos and things like that. And oh, thank you, Ivona. Ivona's saying great motivators here. Thank you. You're welcome. These are just things that I've experienced and things that I help people go through. So I know that they're really useful. I know that they're really great. So do let me know how you use these or which of these you use. But as I was speaking to a friend, I was talking about the fact that I do a lot of Facebook Lives, the fact that I, you know, rock up at 7 a.m, no makeup, you know, hair scraped back. You're lucky that you're not having the little bedhead frazzles this morning. But the reason that I do this is important to me. You know, it's important to me that I can connect with you in this way, that I can connect with you and help to really boost your morning, your Monday, and the start of your week, and for some people, the start of their month, you know. So this is important to me. And what's also very important to me is that I share what I share without you know, without the kind of smoke and mirrors that can sometimes be seen when people kind of go out there in public, and they do it to protect themselves, and that's fine for them but not fine for me. You know, I want to be able to be of service, to answer questions, to get your insights, and to motivate and encourage. So that's the reason I do it. But a lot of people don't know their sweet spot. They don't know, you know, what they're about. So again, if you struggle with being able to say it with integrity, with truth, and when I say truth, I'm not just talking about truth and lies, probably one for another subject. I'm talking about being able to speak your truth, maybe sometimes speak about a difficult subject, sometimes speak about what your life's really like, what you've experienced, the stories, you know. I quite often refer to a particular life story of mine as the gift in ugly wrapping. We all have gifts in ugly wrapping. You know, what's your story? How does it relate to what you do today? And whether you work for yourself or whether you work within an organisation, whether you're a junior member of staff, whether you're a senior member of staff, whether you've just got started, whether you've been doing this for years, we all not only have stories that are really beneficial and can help our audience and show them more of who we are, we also all have stories that get created along the way. Some are good, some are bad, and some are downright ugly, but they get created along the way. So whatever you have to say, definitely say it with, say it with love, say it with sparkle, and say it with truth and integrity. So out of those things that I've shared so far, like which things are popping out for you? Let me know whether you're watching this live on the replay. Which things are standing out for you? Which things do you think that you're going to either do more of? Which things do you think you're going to build on? Or which things are you going to do in a completely new and different way? Do post in the box below. And remember that if you're in the Visibility Vibes Tribe Facebook group, sorry, Squeaky's chair on the planet. If you're in the Visibility Vibes Tribe Facebook group, there will be a nice little meme with a Monday motivation post. Remember, like in whichever way you would normally motivate yourself, you would normally motivate your clients, you would normally motivate the people around you. If there's a great share, maybe something you've written, something you've thought, please do cut and paste it underneath that Monday motivation box, because sharing, I think, is really caring about the people in your environment. In the Vibes Tribe, they are the juiciest people on the planet. You'll see some of the videos that people did yesterday, so you kind of get to meet them physically. But do keep the momentum. Do not only, you know, I don't think that I'm more special than you. So I don't think, well, I do a Monday motivation and that's that, you know. I'm really one for encouraging you to stand out, you to speak up, you to be seen, to be heard, and your visibility. So I know that many of you in that group are so special, so skilled, and I encourage you to share whatever motivates you to motivate others in that group today. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know which of these things you're going to implement first. I'm so excited about the week ahead. Coaching calls on Monday, at least until lunchtime where I get a bit of a break. New website is nearly finished, so you'll be able to see that soon, and I think it will give you a better idea of my services. So it will be at jennykovacs.com. If you look at it now, it looks completely different to how it will look. Sorry. And then on Wednesday, very excited to be taking the first round of Plan 2018 on their first accountability day, which I know, you know, my previous clients that I've run these with have absolutely adored. So Can't wait to do that. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, you know, you don't know who else needs a bit of a boost, a bit of Monday motivation. So if you know of somebody else that might need a bit of motivation, by all means, share this video, share it on your timeline, allow somebody else to get access to some motivation this Monday and this morning. Thank you so much for watching, and lots of love to you all. Bye for now.